On October 1st, a new German law called NetzDG came into force. This law requires online platforms such as Facebook and Google to delete all hate speech and disinformation within 24 hours or face a fine of $51 million. MEP Axel Voss from Germany is a supporter of the direction this law is going.
It's a first step in the right direction. I think it will help a little bit better to try out to spread the responsibility of everything what's going on social networks, etc.
Policy advisor from European Digital Rights, Marian Fernandez Perez, sees many problems with this new law.
This law is part of a trend that we see in the European Union, which is that governments are asking companies to do more, to do the job of the police, to do the job of the judiciary, to do the job even of the legislator. What we see, however, is that governments are not taking accountability and they are not taking the responsible role that they should have, and they put everything in, on the hands of companies.
NetzDG has been criticized for not being coherent enough or even defining hate speech and illegal content. Is hate speech still a fundamental right under freedom of expression?
I'm not sure if if this should be part also of the freedom of speech, or if this should be a part of our fundamental values. I wouldn't think so. That's why I would say we have to do something.
If you look at the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union, for example, it says that freedom of expression, which includes your right to access content, is the rule. And the exception needs to be provided for by law and be necessary and proportionate to the aim pursued.
There is a debate on whether or not a law like this should be adopted for the entire European Union.
We have to think about how we can safeguard our values, our democratic structure, and that's why I would say it's necessary to have something like this similar also on the European level.
But definitely a law of that kind, it's not what EU needs. What the European Union needs is to have a coherent and harmonized approach to the problems that we're facing.
Although Axel Voss is a supporter of this law, both parties agree that the law must develop before adopted by the European Union.
As a starting point, it might be okay and good, and then we have to see how deeply the freedom of speech or freedom of opinion or whatever might be affected at the end. But we have to start somewhere.
Politicians and specifically legislators need to learn what worked in the past, what hasn't worked in the past, and how to ensure that there's a coherent framework. If we are all prompt to be thinking in the same way, it's no longer freedom of expression, it's just expressing the same opinion. So we need to fight for even our right to be different, and within the limits of the law, of clear laws, of good laws, obviously. But yeah.